What's up? Welcome back to episode 2 of In the Element. I'm here with Kaylee Massenberg, and so got a big win against Sherman.
Yes.
It was a really close game.
Very.
Walk me through on how y'all just continued to stay close and keep playing hard.
I think the biggest thing for us going into the Sherman game is just to keep our composure, because playing a rival team like that, it's always, they try to get under your skin and try to, make you upset or get you out of your normal gameplay. And I think that the biggest thing for us is we just continue to stay centered and play as a team and do what we know how to do and not give in to any of the extra stuff.
And we had a lot of fans. This is a really small gym. Do you think having the fans here helped or kind of got in your head?
It definitely helps. Like, the atmosphere for our gym's different than a lot of others in our district because it's smaller, so everything's, louder. And I think just, being able to have our party pit and all of our parents and other fans in the stands makes it more of a fun environment when it's, louder.
So this is your 4th year. You've gone through many rosters. What do you think you would say helped you as you always had teammates changing, going out, coming in? What do you think helped you adapt it to new teammates? And
I think it was important for me to establish what I thought my role was first. And it's obviously changed because starting as a freshman, I don't want to, do too much or have anybody get upset at me. And now I'm the senior. And so I think I've played every role. So now I know better how to respond to my teammates that are in those roles. So since we have a younger team this year, I'm now, kind of the leader, being the senior who's been here for 4 years. So I know how to, talk to them, and I know that, sometimes they may be nervous about stuff. So I know better how to handle my newer teammates since I've been in kind of every role.
Mm-hmm. And how many seniors are graduating?
Oh, we have 3 this year.
And that 3, y'all have y'all been together for a long time. What do you, just kind of coaching each other, lifting each other up, just kind of tell me how y'all have bonded together just as a group.
Well, I think this year especially, our group as a whole, and especially having seniors that are so close, it's helped our team because, it's kind of hard if your leadership doesn't really get along to be able to have a good team bond. And so this year, since all 3 of us are, really close friends off the court too, I think that's helped our team as a whole because we're leaders and they also look up to us and see, that connection. So it's easier for our team bond to be closer.
So you just committed to Lubbock Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me just kind of why you made that decision, why you chose to you want to go to Lubbock, just the coach, the environment, the family relationship down there.
The coach has been there for an incredibly long time, and he's Coach Gomez. He's an incredible coach, and the atmosphere there is such a family atmosphere. There's not any hostility towards one another, or that feeling that you have to compete to stay. You're just automatically a part of the family as soon as you get there. And also, with it being a Christian school, I get to continue to live out my faith and that be a main center of, my team and the game that I love so much. I still get to have God centered around all of that. So that was important to me.
And you talked about your faith. We're both on FCA. Mm-hmm. How do you think FCA helps not only you and your team, being that you're on FCA, you get to share the word with our school? Mm-hmm. Just tell me how that kind of helps with your sports.
I think that it just gives me, more of a confidence, and also more of I'm always playing for God. And so, even if I make mistakes in game or, I think that maybe, I could have done more for my team, I know at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have God and the gift that he gave me. So at the end of the day, I always know who I'm playing for, and it's for a bigger power. And that, I think that also helps keep my team centered too, because we pray before games and after games. It's a big driving force with our team bond, and I think that that's important.
Coach Baldia, very energetic coach. How do you think that helps your team and kind of puts the other team to a disadvantage, just how energetic and how bad he wants to win?
I think that it's just nice to have a coach that, feeds into our energy and isn't just kind of blank on the sidelines. I think it's nice to when we go up and get an and one or we take a charge like that, he feeds into it. He's a part of the game and he's engaged in it. So we know we're going to have his support. He's going to back us up on anything that we may, have a question about or anything that we may disagree with. He's going to back us up and he's going to help us through it. And it's nice to have a coach that's, riding with you.
You have how many older brothers? One or two?
Two.
They both play basketball, right?
Yes.
How would, like, if they did, how would them playing basketball kind of influence or help you now? Just
I think growing up with two older brothers, especially two older brothers that are like 6'5", 6'8", like I think that's just like made me tougher. And how I play basketball, like they've just helped me grow, whether, you know, I always want to admit it or not. Like even like the little games in the driveway when I was younger, like they've helped me become tougher and become used to, you know, like more physicality. And I think that that's kind of helped me turn into the player that I am.
And how have your parents influenced you now to be just a good basketball player, a good person? And how are they helping you through this journey?
My parents have been, you know, just a driving force in my basketball. Like, I think, you know, my dad played basketball, so that was something, you know, once he saw my interest in it, he really fed into it. And starting in 8th grade, I think, 7th or 8th grade in middle school, I started AAU, like select basketball. And it's a big commitment, but my parents supported me through it all. And ultimately, that's where I got my offers and that's where I got my looks. So that them being able to support me, even like with all the traveling and the costs, like they were beside me no matter what. And I think that that's the biggest thing, is knowing, you know, I always had their support and they've, you know, rarely ever missed a game. I can always, you know, count on them being in the stands, and that means a lot.
And who would say is your biggest role model, who you look up to? It could be someone who has influenced you for basketball, someone that you just look up because they're a good person. Who would be your number one role model?
I would say probably, I know it's family, but probably my grandma, just because, you know, she's been through a lot, like ups and downs in her life. She's, you know, lost a lot, and she's always still one of the most positive people, still always, you know, thanks God for everything that she has. And I think that that's, you know, really, you know, comforting to me to see that, you know, even though she's been through so much, she's still one of the most positive, like always ready to go do stuff for other people, still serves others before herself. And I think that that's been really helpful for me.
So, beat Sherman, big thing to say. You can brag about that for the rest of the year. But what is something that y'all can do, because season's not over, it's halfway done.
Yes.
And could y'all use that energy from winning the game against Sherman? What will drive y'all for the rest of the season, just that way y'all can go to playoffs and potentially get a banner? And just what's gonna help you finish the season strong?
I think like going into the second half of district, just because I think we know that we let some games slip away, like we lost by like 5 or less points, and that's like really, that hurts because there's so many like little things that we could have done differently. So I think it's kind of like going through the second half of district, like we want our revenge, like we want to get back at those teams that we know we should have beat. So I think that that's a big driving force, is being able to fix the little things that we may have, you know, not done so well in the first games, and be able to go fix them and get our wins in the second half of district.
So we have, like you said, there's a lot of young people on the team. One freshman?
Yes.
And just a lot of sophomores and juniors.
And juniors.
Just what is something, like you said, as the leader, just kind of as a senior, your seniors group, just something that y'all have coached or helped, being the leaders, helping people, coaching people, being accountable for them? What is stuff that y'all have made them a better people? What is just stuff that as leaders y'all have helped them with?
I think just because we all like moved throughout, especially Ayana and I, since we've been here since freshman year, like the biggest thing for us, I think, is always as a younger player, you're so afraid to mess up. And I think that we've kind of helped instill that in our younger players this year, that it's okay to mess up. Like that's how you're going to learn, that's how you're going to grow as a basketball player. And it's not something you should be afraid, like, oh, somebody's going to get mad at me, somebody's going to get on to me and yell at me. Like, no, like I think it's a bigger thing that they know, like it's okay to learn and mess up and be able to like push through those and still become a great basketball player. Okay,
so if you could play any other sport, any sport, what would it be?
Normal sport-wise, I think just volleyball, because you know I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Like, kind of out of the blue sport-wise, I feel like water polo looks fun.
Water polo?
Yeah.
Like, that's hard though. I mean, you're treading water. It's a workout.
It's really hard. Or like hockey, because they just get to hit people for fun. So I think that would be fun
Yeah.
for me.
Okay, I asked this to Justin. How many, let's see, we'll do 8-year-olds because Justin got mad, thought I said 8th graders, but 8-year-olds, how many 8-year-olds would it take to stop you? So not, just stop you from making a bucket. So not stop you from dribbling, just stop you from, it could be a layup, could be a three, could be a jump shot, just stop you from making a bucket.
8-year-olds. I would say probably like 15 to 20 of them.
15 to 20. And Justin was all mad because he thought I said 8th graders and he said 5, but I mean, I think only 5 8th graders would be able to stop him. But
Yeah.
all right, well, that's the end of episode 2. Thank you, Kelly, for coming, and we'll see you next time.